You grew up in a household where parents were pretty much absent and you had the freedom to do what you please. There was a lot of room for error. A lot of room for growth. I don't even want to say there was error because all the trials, all the tribulations, all the mistakes, all the cycles, everything that we were continuing to do with no guidance had become now something we can use as discernment. Especially in my experience, I find that, you know, like a lot of the things that I was going through in my early 20s has helped me now as an adult, as a grown woman, decipher the good and the bad. Just like different avenues, whether that's with my job, whether that's in relationships, whether that's in friendships, whether that's in family. I feel like I have so much growth, and only being 27, it's gonna take me so far in this life, especially like when you are closer to 30 than you are 20. I feel like it gets a little scary just because you're not meeting expectations of, you know, your fellows, like people you used to go to high school with, people at your job, like wherever you are, it always feels somewhat behind, at least in my experience. So if you're feeling that kind of same way, I'd love for you to tune in and let's get deep into it. Can we talk about how they glorify turning 21? And like, even before you turn 21, I didn't personally drink in high school or experiment with drugs or anything like that, but that's a lot of what my peers were doing, a lot of what my friends or people around me were doing, and I always was kind of afraid of that, especially growing up in a home with substance abuse, alcohol abuse, you know, things like that. I always kind of gave me some type of fear. I actually didn't take my first drink until I was 18, and the only reason I did is because I was out of the country and it was like legal. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I feel like, I don't even know, like if I never did go out of the country, I don't know if I would have even, you know, wanted to pick up that first drink. But even after picking up that first drink, I was like, you know what, this is kind of fun. So when we go back to the States, let's party. I just want to bring it back to flesh. Like I was feeding into my flesh. So they glorify turning 21, drinking, going out, partying, things like that. But when you're 18 and like you've never even been exposed to doing that yourself, you just watched it. It's a difference between watching it and doing it. Like when I was watching it firsthand, I was just thinking about it so negatively. But when I did it for myself, you know, I thought, you know, I don't have a problem, so I can do it. But it came to a point where I was drinking so much that I was blacking out. I even had one of my friends be like, dude, like I don't even believe in people that black out. And I'm like, bro, I don't remember shit I did last night. At the moment I thought it was funny, but as a grown adult now, I'm just like, wait, that wasn't normal. And now I've kind of taken those experiences and brought it to me now, like, no, I can't go out and do all that kind of stuff because it either ends in me falling or not remembering anything. The amount of times I've fell while being under the influence, you can go ahead and ask my friends because that shit's crazy, but that's not the version of me who I like. In my head, when it came to alcohol or substance abuse, like you're only a bad time if you're like, it turns into domestic violence or a screaming match or like you can't handle the liquor. I never thought of it as a problem when you're just blacking out, falling. Like it's funny, especially when the people around you are like laughing about it and then you laugh about it the next morning. But when that becomes a pattern over and over and over again, like specifically when I was 21 to 23, it was on go. Especially like with COVID and everything, like I feel like that made everybody, like I was 21 when COVID happened, so I didn't even really get to go and experience the club scene. I never really have been in the club scene. I'm more of a house party type of bitch, at least back then. I don't do much of that nowadays. It's like maybe twice a year, holidays specifically. But like even just thinking back to the person that I was, like with the no guidance and like having that mindset of like, it's not bad because I'm not doing this, this, and this, like what I've seen growing up, like I know that I don't have a problem, right? Not as to go to say, you know, I'm an alcoholic, but I do need to slow it down because I did find that I was drinking for the wrong reasons. Like, especially like after a breakup, like it would be like, okay, let's party, let's drink, let's do this, let's go outside. And like, as early 20s, it's so normalized to have those behaviors that nobody sees when you're really hurting. And that's what I was doing. I was running from something I didn't want to feel anymore. And I feel like I could be very vulnerable with you guys because I feel like a lot of you can relate. I'm 2.5 years celibate. I'm almost 3 years celibate, but like even like going and fucking people, like it was the hoe phase. Like, you know what? Drake came out with a little song, hoe phase. Like, you see what I mean? It's so normalized to do that shit. But like, I thank God every day that, you know, I didn't get pregnant or like any of those types of things, because that would have put me in a position to where I didn't want to be in, based off of foolish actions. But like when I was going to chase like that high, or like, you know, if I was hurt and I'd go fuck on somebody, like it was never for the true intention of making love. It was always so I didn't have to think in that moment in time. But like when you go and do those things, whether it's drinking, whether it's fucking, whether it's smoking, it's like whatever your vice is, after you're done with the fact, How do you feel after? Because I remember when I started therapy at 25, we were talking about, like, I don't want to call it a sex addiction, but it was just like filling a void, and I always use sex to fill the void. But she was just asking me, like, what do you think that's doing for you? And I was like, well, it makes me feel loved. And then she sat me down and she was just like, well, do these people love you, Lacey? And it's just like, whoa. When you reframe it like that, when you get a different perspective, when you gain a different perception, it just kind of like makes you question yourself. Like, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Because yeah, afterward, I don't feel good. I don't feel loved. Like, it was just in the moment. And like, that's why I've taken the time to now step back and really tap out of that shit so I can tap in with myself, because everything is inward. Like, what you're putting out in the world is reflecting what's going on inside. And that's something that I've definitely like taken the time to notice. Like, when you become so self-aware of your actions, like, or bad habits, or even if it's in a positive way, like, you gain different like, why am I doing this? Like, I never questioned myself, why was I doing the things that I was doing? I thought it was just cool and normal, and like, this is what we're supposed to be doing in our early 20s. No, it's not. And that is the thing. That's where cycles like continue to keep going, passing down to different generations. And it was really a shroom trip that took me out of just that mindset. Like, I had to sit there. Like, I saw myself, you know, I think I talked about it in my first episode. Like, I saw myself in a casket and I was fully bruised up. Like, it was crazy as fuck. Like, cause I was in back to back for 10 years, domestic violence relationships. Not one of my relationships was not in domestic violence. I was matching, like, I dated addicts in the past. Like, it was always somebody with an alcoholic, or that had alcoholism, or like had a problem with substance abuse or something like that. So it's just like, those are how cycles start to form. Like, especially when you grow up and nobody's telling you what's wrong because it's so fucking normalized. But like, when I did take that shroom trip, I literally remember writing a journal passage and I was like, I don't want to be this person anymore, because if I keep going down the road I'm going down, I'm gonna end up dead. Because being in those type of relationships were so normal to me, because that's what I grew up seeing. But and like, when you're going to talk to friends about certain situations, I even remember talking to my best friend at the time after I got out of my last domestic violence relationship and just coming clean. You don't realize how much you're lying, how much you're covering up. And that goes just for whatever vice that you're going for, whether it's overeating, smoking, whatever. I remember telling her the real story and she was just like, Lacey, like, I would have never gave you the advice that I was giving you if I knew what was really going on, because I would always flip it on myself. Like, what am I doing wrong in this situation? Because growing up in those situations, or growing up watching those situations, you always find yourself at fault. And I remember like adults in my life telling me, like, Lacey, one thing I want you to take away from this experience is it's not your fault. And I'd always be like, bro, I know it's not my fault, but like, subconsciously I did think it was my fault, because that didn't then trickle down into my relationships, and it's like, where did that pattern start from? So then you really have to take it back. It's all about shadow work. If you haven't done any shadow work, I strongly suggest it, especially if you're at a time and place in your life where you don't like where you're at. And it's always okay to start over. I've spoken about that before. Like, people are always thinking it's too late. It's never too late to start going after something different. It's never too late. Like, bitch, today I could want to be a pilot. Tomorrow I'm going to want to be like, I don't even know, a dancer. Like, I'm just trying to make a point, but like, you guys know what I'm saying? Like, it's never ever too late. And I still catch myself sometimes, like, even when I'm trying to do different things and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, is this right? Or, hey, I can't abandon like this part of my life and try this. Why not? Why not? Why can't you start something new? Why can't you be a woman or a man of many trades? Like, it's okay. Pick up a paintbrush, go outside, like, pick up some fucking pliers and start fucking shaping fucking bushes outside. It don't matter. We're all creatives at the end of the day. And it's like, just tap into that. Find out what your creative like outlet is. Like, it could be as simple as doing a puzzle. It could be as simple as starting a junk journal. It could be as simple as reading a book. There's so many different creative outlets, and we are human beings. We need that creative outlook. We need that creative expression, especially just dealing with energy. If you notice that you're super like irritable, pissed off, or even just depressed, sad, you need to let that shit out. Like, for example, like, I was having a very hard day like a week ago, and I was like more so on the piss side. Like, I was just mad, and it lasted like 2 days. I was like, bro, I'm just pissed off. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna I literally got a message channeled down from the divine that was like, if you don't go put that energy in something, I know you're too stubborn to work on fucking something artsy, so let's go outside and go run. Bitch, I went on a run only for 15 minutes, felt extremely better. It takes something that small to put you back in that mode, like that balance, because that's where we just need to be. We need to be balanced. We don't need to be too high. We don't need to be too low. If you're just at a fucking baseline, you're cool. Had another experience the other day when I want to say I was meditating. I do a different forms of meditation. One of the meditations I like to do is dance. So I was doing a dance meditation. And have you ever gotten into a meditation and you just feel it? You feel it so deep. Like, I was doing an ancestral meditation. I was trying to tap in with my ancestors, and I definitely did. I felt just centuries and like waves and decades. There's just like generational pain. Like, it wasn't even pain. I just cried, and I was crying and I was crying because I feel like no one in like my mom or my dad's side, both lineages, they never got a chance to speak their truth. And this is exactly why I'm on my podcast, just so I could speak and give people hope and just share my experience, strength, and hope with you guys, and hoping that someone will take the message and then pass it on, or even if it reaches one person, that it'll help. Like, I just know, like, I'm not only doing this for myself. I'm not only doing this for my ancestors that didn't get the chance to do any of this. I'm not only doing it for someone like you who's watching this video. It's just like, I'm doing it for the collective. Because one thing I want to tell you, what you put it out in the universe will come back to you, good or bad. That's the beautiful thing about karma. Because I always thought of karma as something that was bad. Like, oh, if I do this bad thing, it's going to come back to me. But we never talk about good karma. I feel like as a society, we never talk about the good. It's always pointed towards the bad, and that can be pointed towards any fucking discussion. When you're doing good deeds, like just as simple as walking down the fucking road and telling somebody that they have a beautiful outfit on, you just made their day. You don't think that energy is going to come back to you? Everything is a reflection, and that's what's so beautiful, like just about being a human and like being able to interact. Like, nothing more that I love rather than just uplifting somebody, putting a smile on someone's face. That makes me feel good. It makes me see a reflection of myself. Like, and it's so funny, like when I'm out and I'm having a bad day and I have someone be the reflection of who I normally am, that love and light, say something to me, like that is that karmic shit. Like, you literally, like, you could be having a good day and you're like telling everybody, hey, how are you doing this and that, putting that all, sprinkling it out there, right? And then like 3 days later, a bad day happens, you're just pissed and you're like, ah. All of a sudden, you get 3 compliments. You get a hello. You get a how are you. You get a good conversation. You get some sprinkle of luck. Like, whatever that looks like for you, that is so beautiful. Like, and that's the beauty in life. It's so unexpected. And like, that's the whole control is an illusion. It's so real, because don't you want to just let go and let God? I didn't understand that at first. Let go, let God. What do you mean let go, let God? Girl, if you don't let go of that fucking control you think you fucking have over your life and let God step in and create the life that he wanted and for you, and like that's meant for you, like what's for you won't miss you. I know a lot of people think like, damn, like, you know, I didn't get that job, or damn, like I'm 5 minutes late to the fucking meeting I was supposed to be at. But it's just like, what's for you won't miss you. And it's like, I don't know, like a better example of that is like I was door dashing earlier today, and there was an option for a $40 delivery. And I was like looking, because I was thinking before I acted, I have nerve damage. So I was looking, it was a Home Depot run, and I was like, ooh, is there going to be like any like heavy shit that I'm not going to be able to carry, like whatever. So I'm like looking, and then the opportunity went away. And I was beating myself up for 45 fucking minutes. Like, fuck, I missed that order. Fuck, that would have been an extra $40. Fuck, 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 fuck. But the whole point is, what's for you won't fucking miss you. So it's just like, I had to literally pause and just be like, girl, like, it's okay. Like, you've still got 3 orders. I made half the money, but it's just like, what's for me wasn't, like, what if I did take that order and I try to control it and then I hurt myself? Like, no, God's not going to put anything in front of you that you can't handle. He's not going to fucking have something miss you and then have you dwell on it, because it's in his plan. Stop being in control. That's literally how you create stress. Like, Abraham Lincoln has a quote, you're only as happy as your mind makes it up to be, which is so fucking true. Like, you play a part in your own misery. And I've said it a million fucking times on this podcast, and I won't stop saying it, because I understand that, because I used to live in self-pity land and think that the world was against me, God was against me. Like, and that had a little bit to do with my religion and my upbringing, but I have now, and I can securely say I'm in a place where I have a great relationship with my higher power. We have built trust enough for me to know he wants the best for me, not the worst for me, because I can sit here and I can dwell on it and I can feed into my flesh. But what would be the point in that? I love having a relationship with my higher power because when shit does go sour, I'm like, you know what? You got me. I don't even got to worry about it. How nice is that? That's like an insurance plan. You're telling me I had fucking car trouble the other day, bitch. And you guys know about some motherfucking car trouble. Bitch, who wants that shit? Especially in 100-degree weather. You know, I freaked out. I gave myself the 30 minutes, whatever the amount. It literally wasn't that long. But I did freak the fuck out. But then I had to, again, take the step back. Wait. I got someone on my side. You're never alone. And that's the most beautiful part about it. Because I'm such a hyper independence ass bitch. Like, I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna let people in. But right now it's good to know, like, as much as I am like on my own and independent, I always do have someone on my side, and that's my higher power. That's God. Whatever that looks like for you, whether this is the universe, whether it's God, whether it's Jesus, like knowing he's right next to you the whole time. That's all I can say about that, boo-boo. I also kind of wanted to get into knowing the difference between having an addiction and having bad habits, because I like, especially being in the program that I'm in right now, it has you question a lot of things. Like, I smoke a lot of weed, and like I was sitting there and I was like, damn, am I an addict? Like, you know, having parents that have addictions, it's just like you would think that it would be passed down to you, and then you start questioning everything for yourself. And then you have to ask yourself, like, what are you doing? Like, what are the reasons that you're doing this for? XYZ. So I've been kind of on this like journey of putting the weed down. Now, I've been smoking since I was 15. I'm now 27. So it's been like 12 years, and I'm talking about smoking every day. The longest I probably haven't smoked is 2 weeks. In between each other, and I had to kind of take a step back, and I'm being more intentional with it. Like, before I even take a hit, I kind of have to ask myself, like, what am I taking the hit for? How am I feeling right now? Like, asking myself these questions. That way I can pick up on, like, you know, why did I smoke 3 times yesterday? Or why did I do this? Like, oh, like, so I've been doing that a little bit, and recording it has been helping a lot, just because I can see, like, in front of my face how many times I did it a day, what was the reason, how was I feeling. That way you can start recognizing patterns. What I have come to discover is I don't have a weed problem, I have a nicotine problem, and that is one of the hardest shit to fucking kick. I was doing a lot of research on that, and they were saying that nicotine damn near is up there with quitting cocaine. So I was like, great. But you know, it's possible. What was really actually ironic about that is I got a little talking too about my family history. I actually had someone tell me that my great grandfather had started his own nicotine quitting program back in the day. He even had the little business card, and his business card said, "The tobacco companies fear me." So that actually was just so, like, the timing of me finding that out was during this little discovery, like, ooh, like, nicotine's my problem. Like, what do I do? Like, me being in a program, me being the only one in my family besides one of my other family members I kind of grabbed in the program. But like, thinking about it, I started the program by myself. I pushed myself into those rooms by myself. And with that being said, I've always felt so, like, I don't want to say alone, but like the only one that's like, hello. So finding out that my great grandfather had started his own fucking program, I felt like that was my ancestor being like, yes, queen, like, this is possible. Like, there is good in our family heritage. It's not just bad. Because I've done a whole family tree on addictive patterns, you know, filling the void. Like, I've done this whole family tree on just like where the generational traumas were passed down from, right? But I've never focused on the good. I've never asked about the good, because why would I, when you're raised around people who are fucking always, the sky is always falling, it's always bad, you know what I mean? So not to say that it's still like that, it's always evolving and growing, but like, that's how I was raised, so that's where my mind goes to first. So to find out that, you know, it's in my heritage, not too far, 2 generations before me, he was on that shit. He started that shit. He came up with his own program. Like, it is possible. That's all I heard when I heard that, is it's possible. It's already been done. You can do it. Like, and that just makes my heart warm, because it's like, he's been looking out for me this whole time, and I haven't even been noticed. Like, my great grandpa died when I believe I was like 12, 13. So just to think, like, he's been with me this whole time, especially when I moved to a different state, and you know, I was at the end of the block, bitch. I was ready to. So just to know, like, it obviously maybe it wasn't just him. Like, a lot of my ancestors didn't have a chance to do it. I have a lot of disease in my family tree. So not just to think about him, but like, he is a pioneer of the program, because he started his own program, and that gives me hope that I can start mine one day. So there's just like a lot, like I don't even want to get emotional right now because I can feel it, but like just finding that out. And I found this all out within this last week. There's a lot that's been going on this week, y'all. My bad for not having a whole podcast episode for the last 3-4 weeks. I hope y'all did enjoy that vlog though, because I wanted you to let y'all in my life a little bit and just see the journey between January and now. But there's just been so much going on. I told y'all, car troubles, job, work, whatever. Everything a 27-year-old is going through, bitch, you could imagine is happening to me right now. But we are past it. Tomorrow's Monday. We're gonna have a great week. That just goes to say, like, you gotta be grateful for the good and the bad. Because when you're in bad times and you get through the bad times, you feel even more grateful because it's like, bitch, I know what a bad time fucking feels like, and I'm so glad to be through that shit. You gotta keep your calm during the storm, because I promise the rainbow is gonna be at the end of that fucking tunnel, and you're gonna be there to see it. Just keep going. Just keep holding on. Talk to your higher power. Talk to your ancestors. Talk to your angels. Talk to anybody, bro. Talk to yourself. Look at a real bitch in the mirror and be like, hey, what's up, bitch? I need some advice, because I be doing that shit, because there's not a lot of people to talk to around here. No, I'm just hyper independent, so I don't want to reach out. But we're working on it. Okay? But I really do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it was kind of all over the place. Okay, not gonna lie. I just had a lot to say. You guys know I like to freestyle my motherfucking podcast. I'm gonna get better at, you know, making the bullet points and everything. But I did want to tap back in with you guys because I love you guys so much. I would never abandon you guys because I know what that feels like. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just playing. But no, I love you guys so much and I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll be back on schedule. 2 more weeks, there's gonna be another episode out. So I love you guys so much. And remember, faith over fear. Make sure to follow me on all platforms. They'll be in the link below. I love you guys so much and have a great motherfucking day.